Hey everyone, welcome back all of the Longwood fans and fans of my channel, and hello to all of the fall lovers. This video will have some slight commentary by me, just like the previous video. Today I'll be taking you on an autumn trip to Longwood. Please enjoy and watch through to the end. I would love to hear your feedback and see any of your comments. Enjoy! Okay, so if you saw right there, it was sort of cut up a little bit, but that is the journey that I will take you through the meadow. That is the route that I usually take if I am spending the day in the meadow. It's the longest route that goes all the way around, and it all starts here at the Hourglass Lake, and then I walk through the pavilion and show you a couple things in there, including a bird and nest statue. They have some little statues like this mixed throughout the meadow, and on the little bridge I was just on, there's some there with like a frog and dragonfly and stuff like that also. And here's just a quick time lapse of what it takes to get from that pavilion to the next pavilion, leading you to the edge of the tree line which takes you through the meadow. And what's interesting is I'll point out later a view from paths like this from a distance, what it looks like. This is one view of you walking through the path, but later, when I show you the other view I'm talking about, it sort of looks like a little trail that someone cut out with a lawnmower, and there's little ants just walking through it. That's how it looks when you're far away looking at the trail I was just on. Here you could pause the video and read what some of these plaques say. I didn't really spend a lot of time focusing on them directly. I have done another video about the meadow and the farmhouse that I show you briefly here, but this is mostly about the meadow. You could watch that other video, which I can put at the end of this video if you're interested. I did it a long time ago, so it's done a little differently, but it still shows you the same place if you want to see a different perspective. And as you can tell from some parts of the video, you can see that right here and other places there's some color with yellow and orange and things like the fall transition. But I was a little late because a lot of the trees, the leaves have already turned and they're just waiting to be fallen off from the tree. So I missed where they're all turning yellow and orange. So I missed most of that actually. So some of it here you do get to see some autumn colors, but a lot of it, the trees have already lost the leaves or about to lose them, so I'm a little late this year. I did go here the first week into November, and I probably should have gone maybe the last week in October instead, but I had a little mini vacation and that just happened to fall during that time. So I ended up being a little late, but it's still a very beautiful day that day. Such blue skies. The camera really doesn't give it justice. It was a very nice day. It almost felt a little warmer than usual. I had brought a hoodie but ended up taking it off. Especially walking out in the meadow, you don't have a lot of coverage from the sun, so if you're there in the summer, it's not advisable unless you're prepared and you're wearing the proper clothes, because it can be very hot. Even in colder temperatures, it can be hot. So And here's a little spot that's sort of like a mini boardwalk that comes out from the main meadow and curves into the woods slightly by a creek, giving you just a different perspective of the meadow. And then it puts you back out into the meadow to continue on the path. Yeah, there's a perfect shot of how beautiful the day was. And here, just like in the last video, I was able to catch a hawk, I presume, flying around in the meadow. I think I got closer this time than I did last time and got some better angles of it flying around. And here we're on our way to the farmhouse. As I show more and more of these sweeping views like this, you'll see how much further out we get. And these guys, I forget what they're called, but I found so many of them, and this one I rescued. He was already balled up when I found him, and he was right by the entrance to the farmhouse, and I picked him up and moved him. I didn't want him to get stepped on. And there's another one. These are all separate occasions, and there was actually a few other videos that I took that I don't think ever saved, where I had one on my hand crawling up my arm, and I put him in the grass and got some great pictures, but for some reason I think it has been deleted, so these are the only ones I have. And this one did not want to be rescued. He didn't want to get on my hand, so that was fine. And like I mentioned, this is just a quick overview of what's in the farmhouse. It's a lot of information about the surrounding areas and about nature in general. So it's sort of a Longwood thing, but also just an educational nature thing. And like I said also in my other video I did a while back, I go through this in a little bit more detail, so you could always check that out, which I will put at the end of this one if you're interested in that. And there on that bookshelf, if you watch my other video, they took everything out of there, probably because of COVID. They don't want people touching things, so they only left certain things out for people to touch and look at who come in and visit. So they removed all those books for, I guess, reasons of being touched by multiple people. There's a slight overview if you want to pause that and read that as well. And as you could see on the map before we started our journey, is that the farmhouse is really on the very edge, the upper right hand quadrant of the meadow. So you're really on the edge of everything and you have a while to get back. But I do take the quicker route to get back. I take the longer route to get there. But once I get to the farmhouse, I do take the quicker way back to the Hourglass Lake to go back to all of the other Longwood stuff. And here we've gone some distance because there's the farmhouse in the distance there. And here I show you about what I said about ants walking through a like a little path that looks like it's been cut by a lawnmower. You see the people out there walking. That's where we were earlier, and that's what it looks like from a distance. So the meadow really is larger than you think. And from this point here, you can really see the scale of how wide and vast everything is with the hills and everything. And this one is one of my favorite pavilions, not just because of the birds on the ceiling. It adds something to it, but I will show you why it's one of my favorite spots in a second. This is why it's one of my favorite spots. Sitting here and just looking out, this is the view you get, and even still, like I said, the camera doesn't really give it justice of how beautiful the day was and the view that you get while sitting here, looking up and down and to your left and right, seeing just everything around you in this pavilion is really the best spot to be when you're in the meadow. And I don't know if anyone watching has been to Longwood and has been to this pavilion, knows what I'm talking about, but if you haven't been or watching this and you want to, this is definitely the spot where you can have a really great view, and it's so peaceful and quiet. And then again, I was just sitting there relaxing, and another one has found me. And of course, I put it back in the grass so he didn't get stepped on. If anyone knows too what kind of butterfly or moth that these guys turn into, I'd like to know, because they're so common around this time of year, and I don't know what they're called and I don't know what they turn into, but if anyone knows, can let me know. Here was a humongously wide and outstretched, knobby looking tree with long branches that extended way out over the path and just creating this umbrella. Just this massive tree that's on the path coming back from the farmhouse. It's such a great spot to sit. And it was windy throughout the day, if you noticed, and as the sun started to go down, it did start to get chillier out, and overall it was a really great day. And this whole journey, including me stopping for breaks and going to the bathroom, was about 4 hours journey, traveling through the meadow to give you guys all that wonderful footage. And please let me know what you think. Let me know if you've been to the meadow at Longwood. Let me know if maybe this video encouraged you to want to go or anything like that. Let me also know if you prefer or not prefer commentary by me. I can always go back to my old way of doing videos and not have me speak at all. Let me know what you think, and I hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for the next videos I make. Thanks for watching.